with you when you are doing your morning practice. It's something called Mandukasana, which I do every day because the most magical thing to do for your stomach and your digestive system. So what you do is you take your hands like this, you put them here. Yeah, you for this you have to sit like this. This is not an option. You have to sit in this Vajrasana. So what you're doing is you're exhaling softly and you're putting pressure on this so that it goes inside and you collapse totally into your stomach. And then once you reach right down, you basically massage it with your hand slightly. You just massage your intestine, your liver, your kidney, whatever you can, whatever your hand reaches, very gently. But it has to be equal in both the hands. You cannot give unequal pressure and neither can you sit like that ever. But if you ever do it like that, then what happens is what we call the Navi, the navel center. It has a line which goes like this. There is a throb here, here. You can feel it, like there's a pulse. Okay? Here, and it goes below also. Now, this line which is here, the navel line, the Navi, what we call, if it shifts, you're screwed. If it shifts, you're going to have nausea, you're going to feel like pukish, you might fall sick. So this cannot shift. In fact, a lot of times when you're not feeling well, you find out if this is shifted. You can see it sometimes. This looks slightly crooked. And when you touch it, you can feel it, that it's moved to the left or the right. And how you make it straight back, the technique is a very ancient Indian technique of putting something here, like a steel plate, putting kapoor. What's kapoor? Camphor on it. Put camphor on it, and then you light it with a matchstick. And when the camphor burns, then you take a glass or like what we have, a round bowl, which is like this big. You put it on top. What that does is for the oxygen, it is for the camphor to burn. It sucks everything out, which means that when you leave that glass, it will be hanging. It will be sucked. It's sucking your navel out and pulls it outward, which means it resets it. It resets it. You understand what I'm saying? If it is shifted, it will get reset. So that's a very old technique because a lot of grandmothers, like my grandmother, would look at me and she'd say, "Your Navi has shifted," and she knew how to do it with her fingers. She would just do something. I don't know what she would do, and she would make it straight. But the older people knew what these modern doctors don't know. That if the Navi shift, you fall sick. Okay. So that's why I gave you the whole explanation of the Navi, so that when you're going down, you make sure that the pressure is equal. You don't by mistake give it an unequal pressure, because then the Navi will shift and then you will fall sick.